Hello, friends. It's Chapo. I think it's a good jumping off point. The tweet was just simply Trump, period. Elon, period. Kanye, period. And not even like barely 2 months ago. And like leaving Trump aside, has there been two people whose reputations have cratered faster or harder after the following 2 months than Kanye West and Elon Musk? And like, I don't know where to start with this. We got Kanye going full Black Hitler. And you've got Elon solidifying himself, David, in your words, as, I mean, it's one of those things that we all knew, but other people I'm sure have said it. But when I read your post about it, I was like, holy shit, yes, Elon Musk is the worst poster of all time.
Which is a remarkable thing, like if you've spent a lot of time on Twitter, because there were a lot of, everybody's been in kind of a retrospective mode on the site since Elon brought it, where they're sort of like, like obviously I'm going to miss you guys, but do you remember the time that one lady was like, I don't care that kid got eaten by an alligator? We had a great time then, right? Like that's like we great. All. And so like there are posts that I think are generally like sort of the chalk pick as the shittiest thing ever to appear on the website. And yet Elon posts like 200 times a day. Most of them are him just sending the raffle emoji to cat turd 2 for like whatever he posts. But he has brought less, I think, than anybody who posts at that volume, like that I could possibly imagine. Like, I don't know what else you could do.
You described him, David, as a rolling on the floor laughing emoji donkey. And like, I just can't get that out of my head. He is such a fucking donkey. And like recently he's stepping up his game and being an atrocious poster. And there's one guy that's sort of like gotten under his skin recently. It's Stephen King. Because Stephen King was the first guy for like rolling out Twitter Blue to just be like, fuck you. You should be paying me to be on this fucking website. What are you talking about? I'm the value add here. Not you bringing nothing to the table. I'm Stephen King. And so Stephen King tweeted the other day, pretty soon the only advertiser left on Twitter will be MyPillow. And then Elon unleashes a blizzard of replies to him to no reply from Stephen King. He just goes, oh, hi, LOL. Is MyPillow actually a great pillow? Now I'm curious. Headline, Stephen King tweet causes pillow sales to skyrocket. LMAOOOOO.
Yeah, hell yeah.
It's just his sweatiness, his thirst. He's a reply guy to like the lamest cretins on this website and does nothing but steal other people's jokes and just like rolling on the floor laughing to the most like room temperature IQ dog shit memes anyone has ever created.
Yeah. He also doesn't have any of like the sweatiness is really the part of it that blows me away with it too, because it's like some people just aren't very funny, and that's like not like I don't want to be like ableist towards the humor impaired. Like he's just like that's he might not have the stuff, but in that King bit, which I also thought was like a really compelling text for something that had that many LMAOOOOs in it, was like he came back like 12 hours later, and he's not fucking sleeping because like all the Silicon Valley guys, he's just like receiving intraspinal amphetamines 24 hours a day. But he came back 12 hours later that was just like, hey, I came up with another bit. What if you made MyPillow the best-selling product on Twitter? Just thinking about that. Okay, thank you. Love your work. But the circling back bit is like, I mean, it's like a very early days Twitter mistake. That is a fundamental error. That is getting your feet crossed on defense.
I mean, that's why he had to buy the goddamn website so that people would like his posts.
Yeah. I mean, I think he wanted to be like the guy, and I guess, whatever. Obviously, I guess you got to tip your cap to him on this. Like, he wanted to be the most important person on the website. Like, and
it's true.
And he did it. Like, I guess in the same way that Trump was, but even the people that fucking hated Trump were kind of like, all right, well, whatever. I guess he got a hold of that one. Or like for a while anyway. I think by the time he was finished, he was pretty well finished. But that like, yeah, Elon doesn't have the range to sort of pull that off. So it's just like elevating like not just the worst, but like maybe the most tiresome guy on the site to being like the poochie that conversation is always circling back to.
And I mean, the contrast between him and Trump in this regard is fascinating to me because, he's begging he's reinstated Trump's account. He's begging him to get back on the platform, even though Trump is sticking to Truth Social for the time being. But the thing is, like, Trump, I guess, like, he used the medium to great effect, but it didn't really seem like he was ever really needed it. You know, I mean, it helped him out to a great deal, but like, you know, now he's not begging to come off because then Trump knows you never want to look thirsty. You never want to look, you know, too eager.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, Trump has changed the way we all think and speak with his posts, and like making him, I think, a contender for the greatest poster of all time.
Yeah.
And Elon's attempt to kind of like claim that buy that mantle for himself is so pathetic. And whenever you like make fun of Elon for how just desperately ham-fisted he is, you always get the same thing about people being like, "Oh, I guess you just don't like him ideologically." And I'm like, "Well, no, I don't, but I don't like Trump ideologically either." And look, fair is fair. I've been giving him his due for years now.
Yeah.
Well, Trump had to actually run for president. Like, he wanted to be the guy who was on TV all the time, and he figured out being president's the way to do that. And then, God bless him, he did it. And he spent basically zero money to do it, by the way.
Yes.
He made money running for president.
That's the other thing that really like sets him apart from, and I think it's like, there's obviously a lot of things that Donald Trump wouldn't respect about Elon Musk. I don't think Donald Trump really respects anybody that wants his approval at all. Like,
no.
I think he actually hates them.
You like me? Fuck off.
Yeah, right. I mean, this was always like, again, of all the things where like handing it to a guy that you don't like, that was always the funniest undercurrent of all of his live events, where he would like be in like Allentown, Pennsylvania, and be like, how fucking funny would it be if I left right now? Just left you all here in the cold. You know, like, but that's like, that was what he wanted. He didn't want to fucking be there with these hogs that were like doing the mega church hand lift whenever he was talking. He didn't care about that.
When he was talking about complaining about the toilets and how they weren't handling the big dumps. It's like, you're big. The dumps are too big. You can't flush them. And then he says, "Not me, you."
Which is so good.
You clog the toilets with your giant shits, you fucking
They're
donkeys.
trying to stop your successful toilet experiences. I'm just standing in their way. It was so good. That, especially that bit of it, because I mean, you don't want to go back and relitigate the toilet question. I believe that we actually have discussed that on a previous episode, but that the idea of like, I'm sure that Donald Trump takes some of the most horrifying cubic, like Animal Kingdom style shits imaginable, and
yeah, he has cubed bowel movements like
it's
a
a
wombat.
Wolverine style. Like, it just comes out as hot pink for some reason. You're just all right.
It's Scran. He produces barms.
He does, he absolutely is producing some truly barmy delights. But yeah, I think that's the difference with Elon is like, first of all, he's got bad taste in who he wants to impress. And second of all, like, he's so all out to impress them that I think that, like, even, I mean, I don't know that, like, Dinesh D'Souza thinks less of him for replying, "Correct, sir," to, like, a D'Souza post. But I also don't think that, like, D'Souza probably doesn't read his replies. Like, Elon really kind of seems to. And he seems to be, like, filtering it to be, like, what, like, which like soon to be defrocked red state editor is applying to me.
And they're treating him like Twitter customer service. They're treating this motherfucker like he's in a data center in Bangalore or something, right. Like dealing with their Twitter outage. He's just like lost any sense of like dignity, distance, and it's because Trump. Whatever you think, he got out there and he got people to pay attention enough to him to vote for him to be president. He just borrowed money to buy the platform.
Yep.
That's it. It required zero anything of him.
And he has to deal with like the fucking like guys with statue emojis saying like, this is unacceptable. And he has to be like, right away, sir. Like, that is not what you put yourself in hock. That's not the experience that you spend $54 billion or $44 billion to have. Like,
I guess he has come through for them because what do you guys make now of like he's like shutting down the laser containment grid in Ghostbusters and just like letting all the ghouls back onto the site, which is like, look, I don't own a social media platform, so I don't really have like any opinion to share about content moderation.